creators of Relevant Magazine, this is the Relevant Podcast.
It's Friday, November 9th, 2018, and it's the Relevant Podcast. It's officially the holiday season here in our Orlando studio. Joining me on the ones and twos, our illustrious editor, engineer, producer, I don't know what your title is, my brother, Chandler Stern.
I do things, I don't know.
He shows up sometimes. On the Skype line from Loverland, Virginia, Jesse Carey.
Hello, hello.
All the way from Nashville, Tennessee, Tyler Huckabee.
Hey, everyone.
And down the road in Nashville, author, speaker, podcaster, cowgirl extraordinaire, Annie F. Downs.
Good morning, gents.
Hey, Annie, if I am nothing if not a creature of habit. I said Loverland once 12 years ago, and it just comes out every week. I think Cowgirl Extraordinaire is here to stay. I'm sorry.
I hope so.
You went to San Antonio one time.
You're right.
I know.
Technically, that qualifies as an extraordinaire. I mean, really, if you step within the borders of Texas, you can be cowboy, cowgirl.
Okay.
That's just how it works. It's a great state down there.
Yeah, I really like it, Cameron. You've come to the right place with the nickname because I'm for it.
You know what I find weird about Texas? You know, like we talked about state slogans the other day, you know? And Texas's slogan, right, is don't mess with Texas, right?
Right.
Who was even suggesting anyone mess with Texas? Like, that just seems like weirdly combative.
That's so Texas, though, to like preemptively tell everybody,
I'm
don't
just
come
letting
over
you know,
here.
other states, don't mess with us. When is the last time in this country states mess with each other? It just doesn't happen. There's no need to preface, don't mess with us.
Maybe that was from the Civil War times. Maybe that's how long ago that slogan was born.
Not civil. I think Alamo era. Don't you?
Yeah, but even then, I think when they've kind of outgrown it. It's like, oh, I'm entering the state. Welcome to Texas. Don't mess with us. It didn't even occur to me as I'm driving through that what I would do is mess with the state.
But now that you brought it up, I'm going to mess with you, Texas.
Yeah. Is there a reason that you're saying that? Is there something that I'm going to do as I enter in your borders? I'm going to want to mess with you. It's just an odd state slogan. I think it's time to revisit.
And isn't it? Don't most people kind of wish Texas would maybe just chill out a little bit? Like, I don't want to mess with you. I just want you to relax. That's not messing with you. That's just sound advice.
Maybe it's about cow tipping. Maybe Jesse, people from the highway, they're driving through, they pull over and they do some cow tipping, and they're like, don't mess with us like that. They don't like it.
Exactly. They want to avoid the shenanigans right away with the state slogan. That shows they mean business. You know, don't mess with us here.
But see, why not do that? That would be a 21st century slogan. Texas, we mean business. See, it has a double entendre. It's historic and it's innovation.
You have like an oil man sitting there with with a tech guy or a tech woman.
Yeah. You have the space. I mean, Houston, you got the space industry, you have innovation, and you also have the history of don't mess with us. We mean business.
Yeah.
Texas.
What's the Florida state slogan?
I think
things gonna get weird.
Things gonna get weird. I think that's right.
Has anybody seen Amber?
Please mess with us.
The Sunshine State, I think, is just our
the Sunshine State.
We welcome with messing with us.
Oh no! Do you know what the Florida motto is? In God we trust, is what the internet says.
That's just copying from the national motto. That's zero creativity.
Just telling you what they said. Hold on.
In God we trust is on our license plate.
It's called the Sunshine State.
It just seems like that's like somebody just gave up.
This is funny that we never actually talked about this.
Do you know the Virginian flag? It's definitely the most. I can pretty confidently say that the flag of Virginia is the only flag in the country that has a dead body on it. It is. Yes. What? If you look up the Virginian flag, it is like someone who has just killed a tyrant. It says,
there is a dead person on the ground.
Yeah, he's got, so it's Sic Semper Tyrannis, thus always to tyrants. And it's a dead guy. It's someone with his foot on a dead guy. I feel like as a Virginian, I'm not totally comfortable with this flag.
Jesse, I have so many questions about your state flag.
Yeah.
If this was a tyrant, then I think he got what was coming to him.
Yeah,
but again, there was no Roman soldiers ever in Virginia.
And our flag is a picture of a post-assassination. It's just, maybe, I would be more comfortable with a don't mess with. This is a threat. This is a direct threat.
And he's holding a spear and a sword. Is that what this is?
Yeah, this is a direct threat. If you are a tyrant, if you are a person that happens to wear a crown and you're just passing through, Thus always
You'll
to
be
you.
killed.
Thus always. This is what happens. This is sending a message.
Don't mess with Virginia. That's what the slogan should be.
I'm sorry that you have a problem with your state's zero tolerance policy against fascism, Jesse. It seems like a very
here's the thing. It's the only flag with nudity and violence. Like, because the person with it's like a woman that's not fully exposed that has murdered the tyrant. It's a very strange. It's an R-rated flag.
That's a woman.
Yes, it is an R-rated flag.
You can kind of see
that.
It's a better flag than the old one, Jesse, which was just a picture of meth. Virginia.
Oh my gosh.
Meth.
Honestly, I'd be more comfortable because it looks like, I could tell, oh, kids, that's just rock candy. We're a great state. We have rock candy. Not nudity and violence on the flag.
Is a woman? Are you sure?
I'm 99% sure.
It is. I feel confident. I feel like there's probably a story here, but in general, I like.
Of course, there's a story
I like
there.
how progressive it is in terms of a woman killing, a violent woman, sort of an Amazonian warrior type. There's a crown on the ground. I'm assuming it's his. Like when he died, it just fell off, and they're just not even worth picking up. Leave it there.
Yeah. So.
Let it serve as a warning to others who might come to the great state of Virginia and try to be tyrants here.
Speaking of warnings in the great state of Virginia, something transpired in our great state up at...
Oh, my goodness. So this was this Friday's episode. So earlier in the week, at our site, we posted this. This is crazy. So this is early in the week.
Yeah. So Liberty University, America's largest Christian university, had a convocation. They don't call it like a chapel service, more like speeches where students can go to. And they had.
So wait, when I hear convocation, I think about like a graduation ceremony. So this is just
there's a meeting.
It's a chapel service, is what you're saying.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
not required.
And this one was, and I did look because I wanted to make sure we got all the facts straight. They actually changed it from a convocation, which are mandatory for students, to a convocation selects, which they recommend you go to, but you don't have to go to. So attendance wasn't mandatory, but there's a large contingent of Liberty students there for the students. And they invited Dinesh D'Souza, who is an extremely controversial author and filmmaker. That a lot of people know him early on. He was the president of King's College, who was forced to step down after some personal transgressions. He made news because he pled guilty and apologized for essentially campaign finance fraud. And President Trump ended up pardoning him because D'Souza has now committed his career to making films that malign the Democratic Party by kind of revisionist history. Like his latest film is called Death of a Nation, and the cover of the DVD is a face morph of Donald Trump and Abraham Lincoln. Like literally, it's their two faces becoming one. So,
wait, and the title is Death of a Nation.
Yeah,
does he not realize that the correlation of that imagery is probably opposite of what he's hoping it says?
There's a lot going on the cover. I wish everybody could see. This is kind of a visual slice, but one really great design trick about it is that they flipped the names over top of it, so it looks like Donald Trump is playing Abraham Lincoln and Lincoln is playing Trump. And I don't know if that was intentional or if it was a design flaw, but it's. We haven't even scratched the surface of this cover. We don't have enough time.
Yeah. So there's a lot to dig into because a lot of his work, seems like self-parody. And despite what your own political views are, he doesn't exactly represent the kind of nuance that I don't think anyone would really want him representing their political philosophy and ideas. To say he's partisan is an extreme exaggeration because he's more than partisan. He's also been known to use extremely racist rhetoric, against when President Obama was in office. I don't even need to get into his tweets. Just Google his name and racist. And there are
Death of a Nation has 1 star on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, there's plenty of
and that's
evidence
because
of
their
his
system
past.
doesn't allow 0. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, of a lot of his past racial racist remarks and things. So anyway, he is speaking at Liberty University, and
that's fascinating.
And he was, again, kind of talking about how there's not a lot of nuance to the narrative that he tries to say, but basically Democrats are always racist and Republicans are always right is part of his narrative. And
racist.
In doing so,
Democrats are racist, he says.
Well,
that's crazy.
Exactly. I mean, to back that up.
Wait, historically he's saying that, or the modern America? Because it is true that Republicans in the 60s were the party advocating for the civil rights movement. Democrats were fighting it. That is true. Things kind of flipped in the modern era, right?
And he doesn't acknowledge that flip.
That's where he would disagree. That's where he's trying to create the narrative. It's always been this way. And part of, to underscore that narrative, he was talking about how LBJ, after signing civil rights legislation, would use the N-word, but except he, and I should say he is Indian American. He's born in Bob, just for further context, but he didn't say N-word. He actually said the actual word.
At Liberty on stage. And, I think, Tyler, you got a text from a Liberty student after that, right? Like, I can't believe this just happened at my school.
I got a direct message.
Oh my gosh!
Direct message. I was saying, why are you texting college kids? That's a little weird.
They have your number.
Yeah, that's a little strange.
College students. No, we don't need to get into what.
That's not the weird part of the story, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, it was an African American student at Liberty who could not believe he just heard someone use that word, from the stage. Like the thing is, like, if he was referencing a quote from someone and he wouldn't say from the Liberty stage the F word. But he's perfectly fine actually articulating.
And he wasn't quoting. He said, LBJ said blank.
Exactly. It wasn't like he had this exact quote.
Not even
a direct quote. It was an allegation that people say Lyndon B. Johnson, who very well may have. I'm not defending Johnson's. That would but he didn't say, Lyndon B. Johnson quote, he just said he would say the word, and he said the word. And
oh my gosh.
And that's the same. I mean, Papa John just got fired from Papa John because he on a conference call said, well, Colonel Sanders used to say, and it's a word. I mean, the hateful past of the word and the volatility of it, I don't think we need to relitigate here. I feel like that's pretty well known. But anyway, he took to Twitter, and he has like 1 million followers, and he intentionally misrepresented what we wrote about him on Twitter. He said that these scoundrels attacked me. And insinuated
talking about relevant.
He called us scoundrels. What an insult!
Congratulations, that's kind of cool.
I feel like a scoundrel is something that, like,
Jesse, we got a flight. We know what kind of language he uses. If he only called us scoundrels, we got a flight.
Right. You're coming in just fine.
Hey, when being a scoundrel is outlawed, the outlaws must become scoundrels.
I was going to say a scoundrel is I picture a villain. In order to be called a scoundrel, you have to have a handlebar mustache. We're not scoundrels by definition. A scoundrel has a handlebar mustache.
But I do wish I could grow a handlebar mustache, but we don't have time for that. Keep going.
But either way, he said that, they're making me like I said this word without context. The entire context of what he said, along with a link to the video of him saying it, is provided in the article. What? But a lot of people don't want to read past the headline, especially when the person is the subject of the story intentionally misrepresents what you say on Twitter. And so at last count last night, I think it was over 700 responses to the story.
It's over 800 right now.
And
I just found
it is
on
the
Twitter.
most hateful, vitriolic, I mean, a lot of it's like, CNN, fake news. The irony is I was looking at our real-time analytics.
CNN, fake news, happening. When we posted a video of him actually doing what he
hilarious.
did, and then we describe it in detail. You can watch it for yourself, but it's CNN fake news. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So I was watching real-time analytics as these tweets were like, I was texting Cameron and Tyler last night. Know this. I
had to email the staff and go, hey, you are all going to come into work in the morning and have hate mail in your inbox.
Is that what you said, Jesse?
Yeah.
Were you like, heads up?
Yeah, essentially. But what was funny is the irony is, I was like, well, I wonder if people are going to read the story to see that we actually did. There's nothing fake about it. These are a list of facts of what happened. With some context of who these people are and what the event is.
Facts don't matter to these people, man.
No one was reading it. It had like a dozen people actually reading it and hundreds of people responding to a misrepresentation from this guy. And this isn't the first time this has happened in recent weeks.
That's the era we live in right there. They don't care about what's true. They don't care about facts. They care about their worldview being attacked or not. That's it. And they don't want to be informed. They don't want to click and read it. They just want to respond and react. And that's Twitter. Thanks a lot, Jack, or whatever the founder's name is.
At Jack.
No, listen, you can't blame him. Twitter is neutral. Like, Twitter is it was created as a neutral platform. You can't blame him for how people have used it, right? I mean, that's like that's the car wreck thing, right? Like, It's not a car that's the problem. It's how people use it. That's the problem.
I think you could blame him sometimes for not abiding by his own terms and conditions and kicking people off when they get like violent with their.
That's right.
My favorite tweet last night, though, because I was reading a lot of them. I mean, they were coming in at this crazy
Why would
rate.
you do this? You're a glutton for punishment. You're a glutton
Did
for
it come
punishment.
to your phone? Surely you don't have notifications on, do you, Jesse?
Well, no. I have a whole system because I help manage a lot of social media accounts. So I have a whole system that I kind of monitor stuff. But anyway, one of them, after, several hundred had come in, and basically the same thing: fake news, CNN, everything
CNN.
you'd expect to hear.
It's just so funny that's like a
an insult.
Exactly.
No.
There's nothing fake about it. It's
CNN.
literally just happened. You can see the video.
Right.
But the one tweet was, "We are we are crushing you right now." And I was like, this literally doesn't do anything to us. Like, you're just sending us messages on Twitter. How does this affect us at all? Like, this isn't crushing us. If anything, you're going to help us.
It's ad revenue.
Yeah.
Well, no, but they're not going over to the site though. So that's how they're crushing us.
It's not a lot.
We are
It's
engaging you in a way that you will not profit from monetarily. Yeah. Whatever.
Exactly.
We can just hit mute on your feedback. Who cares? Like, people are dumb on Twitter.
Well, and here's the other thing too. The thing that this underscores, because this happened to a piece that I wrote actually last week that kind of, I never get into the comments, but I actually dip my toe in. Because
never
if people
dip your toe. Never dip anything in the comments, Jesse.
I know. I've learned.
Serious.
I try to stay away, but like, it's not if people don't like, if the facts that you are reporting don't support their narrative, then they just call it fake. Like, literally, they just, they don't even dispute the facts. They just say the entire thing is fake. And like, to me, that is super dangerous. That's like, we've gotten to like reverse 1984. Almost like, in 1984, this totalitarian government would just rewrite the news and, say, oh, we're no longer at war with these people. They've always been our ally. We're now at war with these people who used to be our ally. Never say it was the other way. Like, they would just rewrite the news to support, the narrative. But honestly, it's gotten to the point where it's like the people rewriting the news to support their narrative. It's like this weird reverse 1984 situation that's it's just crazy. And like, I love being in media. Like, I feel like we all do. This is our jobs. This is what we've committed our professional lives to doing. But this is, man, just a crazy time to do it,
Right. Man, that is crazy. How often now, I don't know as much as y'all in this world. How often do y'all get?
No, you didn't have to say in this world. Why'd you add that?
Sorry, not in the world in general. I know far more than any of the three of you in the real world. I mean, in this particular relevant world.
No, I was saying the other. You could have just said, I don't know as much as y'all, and then just moved on. That's all I was saying.
Just let me finish my question, Cameron. How often do y'all get that severe of pushback? That is what I don't know.
I think it's rare when there's like a solitary figure pushing misrepresentation of what we say and who has, a million followers and trolls and things kind of at his disposal. But I mean, pushback is daily, which is fine. Like, I'm fine with pushback, like, welcome dialogue. Well, like, I think any institution that has any power should, anyone who follows it should be highly critical of it. Like, keep them accountable, including us. Right. Like, I don't have a problem with pushback. What I have, my issue is when people, dispute things that actually happen and there's evidence that they're happening just because they don't like that it happened,
Right.
I think we've, like you said, Jed, like this is a great job, and we don't have it's not like we're a powerful company or anything like that. But anybody that has a platform needs to be open to hearing pushback and
Cameron's like,
critiques.
yes, we are.
Yeah, Andy doesn't know anything, and we're a powerful company. Just stick with those statements.
We're not powerful in the same sense that the tyrants that would die in Virginia were powerful, but we have we're an influence. I'm aware that we have influence and we have a platform that's sizable, which means we need to be accountable to the people who come to us, and we need to be responsible to them.
That's right.
And so that's not a balance. We enjoy the two-way street. I'm glad that there's a way for people to write comments and make their voice heard. And sometimes they've brought up like very fair critiques, and we've had to make corrections and apologize for those. That does happen. But it's when you get the sense that these are not being offered in good faith, which is the sense that I'm getting from Mr. Cassalza here.
When was the last time we apologized for something? I'm actually curious.
But when have I apologized for something?
No, when you said sometimes we hear something, we'll apologize. And
I remember I wish I could remember the exact piece, Cameron, but I remember it was early on in my relevant career.
I'll tell you last time I did. It was our second issue. On the cover of the magazine, I remember. I know that. I wasn't here yet, but I know the story.
I don't know the story.
I typed Black Eyed Peed the night before we went to print instead of Black Eyed Peas, and
oh my gosh!
Well, I
didn't issue a correction.
Sued us and nearly brought us down. But
it was the last time I've ever apologized, life or in profession. It was 2003.
40% of relevant. There's a settlement. Tough but fair. I mean, we
you don't call them Black Eyed Peed. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, exactly. Will I Am is not having it. The guy that
that's the only time y'all have ever apologized for a piece.
No,
we've issued corrections here and there for things that.
Well, we had a whole segment on the podcast for a few years, corrections and apologies before feedback.
Oh, y'all did do that. I do remember that.
But there is and we obviously we do fact checking. We do a lot. We have a lot of steps to try to keep those at a minimum, obviously. But like I said, my issue isn't with people who dispute incorrect, want corrections to things that aren't correct. It's people who, like I said, just completely ignore facts that are documented evidence because of the sake of political convenience. It doesn't matter what your party is. I mean, it goes both. I've seen it happen on the other side too, All
right. Hey, we have a great show for you today. Coming up later, we talked to David Crowder. He has a new album out today. Look how timely we are. David Crowder's new album's coming out today. This is a long opening segment. Let's take a break and stay tuned. Coming up next, in case you missed it. You're listening to AJR. The song is Burn the House Down. I want to say that once when I was little. At the beginning of the podcast, you heard Morgan with an X instead of an A with Home featuring Walk the Moon. Well, today's show is brought to you by Away Luggage. After all that political talk, I don't know if they're happy about that sponsorship. But Away's approach to luggage is simple. They create special objects that are designed to be resilient, resourceful, and essential to the way you travel today. Away uses high-quality materials while offering a much lower price compared to other brands by cutting out the middleman and selling directly to you. They aren't just carry-on luggage. They have 4 sizes, actually. The carry-on, the bigger carry-on, the medium, or if you're Annie F. Downs, the large.
You got that right. That is the one I carry. I use my Away luggage every single weekend.
That's right.
That large one.
Yeah.
You lifted it up, didn't you, Cameron? Did you move my luggage one time?
I lifted you up like in prayer, and then I lifted your luggage up into the Uber. That is
right.
True. Hey, Away, all Away suitcases are made with premium German polycarbonate. It's unrivaled in strength and impact, and also so lightweight. It's awesome. They also have the removable washable laundry bag in there, which is great. And they're both sizes of the carry-on are able to charge all your cell phones, tablets, e-readers, or anything else that's powered by a USB cord. And the best thing about Away is they have a lifetime warranty. If anything breaks, they'll fix it or replace it for the life of the bag.
Can I give one quick testimonial, Cameron? Please. About this product? I gave it. My wife travels quite a bit for her work, and I gave her one of these, the carry-on, and she
the larger carry-on or the smaller one, Jesse?
The regular size carry-on.
Yeah,
that's what I have.
That's what I have too.
And so my concern is she packs a lot. Like she would tell you, she likes to, packing for her is she doesn't plan making plans that she's got to pack. She packs a lot. So I was worried, is this going to be big enough? The compression system in there where it squeezes the stuff down to create layers. She got everything in there, no problem. And she is now a brand advocate. She's all about Away.
Same. I tell everybody. And now at the airport, it's almost hard sometimes to know which one your bag is because there's starting to be more and more Away luggage at the little spinny things.
Away's offering a 100-day trial. You can live with it, vibe with it, travel with it, Instagram it, And if at any point you decide it's not for you, just return it for a full refund, no questions asked. And there's free shipping on any way order in the lower 48 states. Right now, they're doing a special offer for Relevant Podcast listeners. For $20 off a suitcase, visit awaytravel.com/relevant and use promo code relevant during checkout. Remember, that's $20 off a suitcase. Go to awaytravel.com/relevant. Use promo code relevant during checkout. Okay, well, it's time for our look back at what happened this week in culture and entertainment. It's time for
In Case You Missed It.
Hey, in case you missed it, the singer for a Christian band Down Here provides Freddie Mercury's vocals in the new movie Bohemian Rhapsody. It's the number one movie in the country this past week. It surpassed all expectations. And one of the movie's biggest stars doesn't actually appear on the screen. Even though star Rami Malek actually does sing in the movie, the filmmakers brought in a professional singer to overdub many of the songs. In addition to posting Queen covers on YouTube, Mark Martell is also the lead singer of the band Down Here. Though they've been on hiatus for several years, they won several GMA and Dove Awards between 2002 and 2012, which is Jesse's heyday.
It's when Jesse
Glory
peaked.
days. Yeah, it was prime Jesse here.
Mark told BeliefNet, I think the last 10 years have been in preparation for me to be able to handle this. I don't think I could have handled it 10 years ago. God's moving in this very obviously. Here's a clip of Mark covering Bohemian Rhapsody.
Killed a man, put a gun against his head, pulled my
Sounds just
trigger,
like
now
him.
he's
Yeah, that's crazy.
dead. Mama, life
Wow.
had just begun, but now I've gone and
You gotta let it hit, Chandler. You gotta let it hit. It's too good.
Yeah.
Let it play, let it play, let it ride.
It's one good moment.
Wow, it's so good.
Didn't mean to make you cry. If I'm not
So
back
good.
again this time tomorrow, carry on,
Carry on,
carry on. As if
Dude, I can just listen to this cover for like 5 minutes of the
He's
podcast.
amazing.
It is
Have
so
you listened to all of his
so
stuff?
Of all the
He's so good. Do you
Of
know
all
him?
the, like,
Tyler
Does he say
Huckabee,
like
he's
that all the
great.
time though? Or is he just putting on like a?
No, Down Here is like roar, 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 roar.
Oh, I've never.
Yeah,
Never heard
he's amazing, and he's a really nice dude. We should be friends with him, but he's awesome.
You're acting like you are friends with him. Do you want to? Are you name dropping?
I am name dropping. I am proud to be friends with Mark Martell. I think he's awesome.
Yeah, and how they did the vocals was cool. So they, like I said, Rami Malek, they kept a little, but he's not a singer. And then they use Mark's and then actually little Freddie Mercury's and like put it in. But they were looking for someone who can do these songs because they need them in a real particular way. And it's like this guy, he regularly posts these Queen covers. It's like he sounds just like Freddie Mercury. It's like when Journey found the guy to replace Steve Perry because he was posting Journey covers on YouTube and sound just like Steve Perry. It's like that dude. It's incredible.
Of all the like classic singers that you to find a replacement for, Freddie's got to be the hardest. You need someone to do Mick Jagger, Rolling Stone, Diamond doesn't. You can walk out, throw a rock in the middle of Nashville, and you'll hit somebody who can pull off Mick Jagger. Freddie Mercury was a once in a generation voice.
Yeah.
Tyler, you're forgetting Peter Furler and the Newsboys. I mean, I don't know
This
how
is
you
as good time
replace
as any to announce that I'm working on the Newsboys biopic right now. I'm in the early stages of my Newsboys biopic. If you have a good Peter Furler cover, I want to hear it. Send it my way.
Oh man.
Casting right now.
And I watched last night. Mike Myers, is a part of this film as well.
from the
And-
movie Halloween, right?
He had a busy month.
Yeah, he just started
Isn't that the
Yeah,
villain
what a
from
guy.
Halloween?
And I watched his interview last night with Alec Baldwin on Alec Baldwin's new TV show. And Mike
Did Alec
Myers.
Baldwin punch him in the face
That's crazy.
Not that they put on
in a
screen,
fit
at
of
least.
rage? Yeah.
That's right. Not that they put on screen, but listening, Mike Myers is massively insecure, and he talks about it like he's not confident, and he didn't even think he was funny for like the first years of being on SNL, and he talks a lot about this film. But it was interesting to hear someone that we all think is like absolutely hilarious. Talking about how he just wasn't sure. He really wasn't sure that he was funny until he got a letter from George Harrison from the Beatles.
What a flex! What a name drop! Yeah.
Yeah.
I just battle with insecurity till one of the Beatles told me.
You're a monster. This is the episode where Jesse's a monster. I thought that was really sweet. I think it's worth watching.
No, I think it is cool. And and Mike Myers has a special connection to that song forever because he demanded it be in Wayne's World. Even when the producers are like, it's too much money, like we can't. Because I feel like for a generation, their first introduction to Bohemian Rhapsody was that famous scene in Wayne's World where they're singing it in the Mirthmobile. But that was Mike Myers like demanded we get that song or nothing else will work, you know?
That's what he said. He said, I'm forever tied to the song. Even in like Wikipedia, he's talked about like that movie, Wayne's World, is talked about in the Wikipedia of that song.
In case you missed it, the Navy SEAL that SNL mocked this week says he isn't demanding an apology because he doesn't agree with outrage culture. Very level-headed SEAL there. This weekend, SNL found itself in a controversy when Pete Davidson made fun of Republican congressional candidate Dan Crenshaw. In the bit, he made fun of the appearance of several candidates around the country. The former Navy SEAL lost one of his eyes while serving in Afghanistan. Davidson's bit has been the subject of widespread criticism. However, in a video he posted over the weekend, Crenshaw said he isn't one of the ones demanding an apology. Here's a clip of his statement.
I want us to get away from this culture where we demand apologies every time someone misspeaks. I think that would be very healthy for our nation to go in that direction. We don't need to be outwardly outraged. I don't need to demand apologies from them. They can do whatever they want. It's they're feeling the heat from around the country right now, and that's fine. But I would like him and Saturday Night Live to recognize something, which is that veterans across the country probably don't feel as though their wounds they received in battle should be the subject of a bad punchline for a bad joke.
I feel like what's so refreshing, that was a thoughtful response, not an outraged one. It's probably a bad idea because his Twitter followers called us scoundrels, though.
You scoundrels! He's sick on us.
The only appropriate time is to call someone a scoundrel is when you walk in the 3 cars back in the locomotive going down the highway to see that your bag of gold has been stolen, and then you look at it and you look out the window and you see us riding away on a horseback and you go, "You scoundrels!" The only time it's appropriate.
Man, did y'all see Kenan Thompson talking about what Pete Davidson said?
Yeah, specifically Kenan Thompson, who's a fellow cast member. His dad is a military veteran. Yeah. He said that Pete's bit definitely missed the mark, and he said he personally would never have necessarily gone there.
The whole construct of the bit though was to show thumbnails of people who are running for office and make fun of how they look, and it's like. It's just college bro humor, man. I mean, it's just.
That's what he does.
Yeah, I'm just surprised that Lorne Michaels keeps letting Pete Davidson do that. Like, okay, we see the Pete Davidson shtick. Okay, we're done. Like show us that he can create, and maybe he's writing all these sketches that we love, and I don't know it's him writing them, but I'm kind of done with when they roll him out. I'm like, come on.
I think Pete's a funny guy. I like some of the sketches that he writes, but that bit, it gets so... And then he tries to cover it because he'll make fun of his own appearance at the end. But let's not pretend that Pete Davidson making fun of the fact that he's a little bit gangly and a little bit pale is the same as making fun of somebody who has a war wound.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, in case you missed it, this week, Lauren Daigle responded to the people who criticized her for performing on Ellen. Last week on the show, we told you she performed on Ellen. Well, apparently a bunch of Christians got incredulous that she... hung out with the fornicators and the sinners and the liberals, So
the liberals out in Hollywood.
And trust me, listeners, you won't hear this one in the mainstream media. Continue.
Oh my gosh.
Well, this week while she was on a morning radio show, Lauren was asked what her response was to fans who had an issue with her performing her single "Still Rolling Stones" on the talk show. Lauren said, "I think the second we start drawing lines around which people are able to be approached and which aren't, we've already completely missed the heart of God. I don't have all the answers in life, but one thing I know is that I can't choose who I'm supposed to be kind to and who I'm not, because that's the mission, right? Be who Christ was to everyone as well." She also said that Ellen and her staff are incredibly gracious hosts. So there you go.
I think Ellen seems like one of those fun shows. Like if you're a celebrity to be on, the only reason I wouldn't go on there is because when she hides someone like in the ottoman,
it scares them for sure.
I would be like, Ellen, straight up, listen, I think the show's great, but if you scare me, I am boycotting this show and I'm taking you down because that is no one wants that. No one wants to be sitting there having. It's hard enough being interviewed, knowing that someone in a clown costume is going to spring out of the bookshelf you have your arm resting on. What kind of maniac on her staff came up with that skit? It's probably Rob Fee. He used to write for that.
Is there any other Christian artist who has been on Ellen and on Jimmy Fallon? She was on Jimmy Fallon this week too. Like, is there anybody else in that world that has been on both those shows?
I don't know about musicians. It's possible. Off the top of my head, I don't know. But I think Ellen show's a little bit different because she doesn't always do musical guests, right? Like she always doesn't have performances.
Like Lecrae's been on Fallon a couple times, and but like, you're right. Ellen doesn't have a lot of artists perform. That's true.
Yeah.
It's not like a midday
Usually they're
thing.
just like a guest,
Yeah.
and then they perform at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I would know. I have a job. I don't watch Ellen because it's on during the day.
I think that's really cool. I think Lauren it's just pretty awesome to watch Lauren get these opportunities. I don't know. I think it's cool.
But that's been, for as long as I've been alive and as long as there's been sort of a Christian subculture, there's always been these like watchdogs whenever one of them does I remember back when Kirk was just starting to blow up for the first time, and was working with like Salt and Peppa, I think. And there was something, he might have been, I can't remember everybody he was working, but I remember it being a big deal in like the world magazines of the world and calling him out for misrepresenting the gospel with like hip hop stars.
He had Salt on Stomp.
Just Salt?
Yeah, and the Peppa wasn't on it, just Salt.
Oh my gosh.
It was
That
on
was the
his
hard
hit.
one to get.
It was on his hit.
I did
song.
love Stomp for a minute. That's a good memory. Bring that back.
Yeah. Stomp was a good song. Hey, in case you missed it, Stomp was a song in the mid-90s that Kirk Franklin did with Salt. Here's a clip. Hey, in case you missed it this week, Charlemagne the God and Bill Simmons discussed culture's conflicted view of Jesus on the Bill Simmons podcast. The author and Breakfast Club host, Charlemagne the God, was a guest on the hit podcast. And at the end of the conversation, Bill asked him who his dream interview subjects would be, dead or alive. After going back and forth with Bill about the list, Charlemagne observed how interesting it is that people don't often put Jesus on these types of lists. He then tells Bill why he thinks Jesus is still misunderstood in culture, how even his major holidays have reappropriated to fictional characters like Santa and Easter Bunny. Here's a clip.
If Jesus came back right now, nobody would believe it. Everybody would start tweeting about it, and they'd start clowning Jesus immediately. Like they would immediately like, yo, his shoes is trash. Look at his hair. You know what I'm saying? Like, who is this Christ dude talking about he's coming back? We ain't going nowhere. Hashtag rapture. Like they would kill Jesus if he was to come back right now. 100%.
That would be, that I feel like would trend on Twitter.
Listen, I got a vision though. I always feel like the Wu-Tang Clan Triumph instrumental is going to play. And then like you'll see like a sandal step out of the sky. And I would love to see how social media would react if Jesus, in fact, really did come back. They don't, but nobody respects Jesus, though.
I would say.
Listen, I'm a God-fearing man.
I would say a lot of people respect
nobody. He headlines 0 holidays.
Go Charlemagne.
Yeah.
Charlemagne, being an outspoken Christian now, should probably rethink his name.
Yeah, and
or at least lowercase the G.
This, throughout the Bill Simmons interview. I mean, it's kind of his thing. Yeah, he's not afraid to use some language a lot of people wouldn't associate with someone who's also an outspoken Christian. But hey, that's his decision. Yeah.
He's just out there making everybody mad. Like no matter who you are, no matter what side of I mean, he's kind of a like post-partisan
definitely
icon.
He
you can find a reason to be mad at him no matter who you are.
Yeah, he is a bit of a provocateur, but he also doesn't mind. I mean, you could tell Bill Simmons was getting uncomfortable talking about Jesus. Like Bill Simmons kept trying to change the subject, but Charlemagne just kept going at it. He didn't care. Like Bill Simmons, like, man, I try to avoid people getting me to talk about religion. That was like the cue to like, Charlemagne, can we change the subject? Charlemagne just kept talking. He did not care one bit.
Not one bit.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Well, that'll do it for In Case You Missed It. Stay tuned. Up next, David Crowder joins us.
Tiny witch from tonight. Tiny witch from tonight.
You're listening to Hen Ogled. The song is Tiny Witch Hunter. Well, this week's show is also brought to you by Samaritan Ministries. It's a healthcare sharing ministry with over 250,000 Christians caring for one another's needs, from broken bones to cancer, pregnancies to organ transplants, all without the use of insurance. It's the time of year that making decisions about healthcare is likely on your mind. If what you're currently doing has gotten out of hand with crazy prices and difficult network restrictions, why not ditch it for actual health care with Samaritan Ministries, a growing community of Christians that send financial gifts and pray for one another throughout their medical needs. In this way, Samaritan members care for the whole person, physically, spiritually, and financially. Plus, there's no restrictions at Samaritan Ministries as to when you can join or even which doctors you can see after you join. If you'd like to learn more about how you can be part of this ministry, helping each other with health care, visit SamaritanMinistries.org/relevant. It's an awesome countercultural model. I love it.
I do too. I like it.
Well, the new album, I Know a Ghost, by David Crowder, features some of Crowder's most powerful worship-centric lyrics, but also shows off his continued musical evolution with big beats fueling his Southern-inspired sound. I love the name, I Know a Ghost. That's great. We recently spoke with Crowder, who gave us a behind-the-scenes look at the brand new album, which releases today. Here is our conversation with David Crowder.
Spoiler alert, the ghost is Bruce Willis. And it's been dead the entire time.
So the whole album is a concept album about this one time he met Bruce Willis at an after party. And now he has him in his phone. I Know a Ghost. Yeah, that's true. There you go. Here's David Crowder.
With all of this difference, and you've got all this scale and scope, why did you opt for this sort of sprawl of musicianship and sound instead of taking a more kind of like focused sonic approach to the record?
Well, I did this one totally different than I've ever done any of the records I've done. I've been in Atlanta 5 years, and I've always thought of my albums in terms of 3 albums at a time, because that's the contract I signed. So it's kind of practical. It's like, hey, all right, I'm obligated for 3 records, and it gives me boundaries, I guess, or just like a framework in terms of process. And I would be the guy that would like panic if the page is just like blank and there aren't any lines on it or something. I need some structure before I start writing into a thing. And it's crazy. The first contract I signed was the year 2000. So I've been doing this 18 years now. I had more fun doing this thing than I've ever had. And I did it in a way I've never done it before. And it was all because of Atlanta, Georgia. Being in the scene in Atlanta, Georgia, I've been on tour for the past couple of years. It's for sure been, pretty much every tour I've done, it's been with, there's been some 116 or Reach record artist out with me, or NF was on. I've always had some hip-hop element to it, and I've always loved making music on a computer with beats and so forth. And so the first record was really EDM based, because I was way into the EDM scene, and I wanted to stick, how do I stick folk type instrumentation on top of what I considered to be where pop music was moving, which was the EDM scene. And after being in Atlanta 5 years, my ear has turned toward hip hop. And so all I did was like ask people I did not even know to send me beats. And so I would get these Dropbox folders, with like 12 tracks on it. And it would just be kind of like a verse chorus idea. And you just, kind of scroll through them until something hits and you're like, oh, I'm feeling this thing. And it'd be like that moment where you see in the documentaries on Netflix or whatever, and all of a sudden the guy, he starts nodding along, and then he's in the vocal booth spitting, and then the song's done. And I'm like, man, no wonder. They write themselves, man. And it reminded me of how I first got started writing. It was very riff based, like guitar riffs. I'd sit down with acoustic, and all of a sudden, you pick up a different acoustic, and a riff comes out, and then all of a sudden the riff feels like it writes a song. That's how I think my early songwriting was. I would classify it as very riff based. And as I got to be around people who do songwriting well and professionally, I think I learned more about melody, and it's more chordal and melody based. And then this felt like we went right back to what it felt like in the beginning when I was writing around riffs. It was like there's an attitude, there's a orchestral, cinematic quality to a thing, and it sort of tells you what the storyline is, and you just write into it. And so I just followed the beats, and then I had some of my friends that I've been working with for the past 2 records be a part of that process, and it was just amazing. That's why there's like 16 tracks, is because it kept going and going and going, and they just had to stop me. It's like, all right, for real, you got to turn in date, bro.
Then I read the red letters, and the ground began to shake. The prison walls started falling, and I became a free man that day.
When I think of the title of the record, the image that keeps coming up throughout the record of the ghost, the Holy Ghost, I'll be honest, my head goes to kind of old, like traditional Catholic churchy kind of images. And that was one of my favorite things about the record, is that it used all of these new and modern feeling sounds and production techniques, but so much of the language was evocative of that tradition. Was that something that you were thinking about?
Oh, for sure. The first record, the Neon Staple record, was very Southern gospel language, which is very white. And over the course of these 3 records, this one really gets closer to like slave spirituals, the black church, the gospel roots, where not only musically, but in the choices of the vocabulary, I'm trying to just blur lines. I wound up moving from Texas to Atlanta, and where I landed in Atlanta was literally on the railroad. It was like right at the railroad tracks that divided Scotch-Irish immigrant workers from the old Fourth Ward, where Ebenezer Baptist Church is, and Martin Luther King, and freedom was birthed from the civil rights movement. And his dad, granddad, pastors there, and they're literally train tracks where I was living in this old cotton mill lofts. I could not have existed in a better metaphor for what I was trying to make.
Wow.
The street that I was on, Carroll Street, is actually where country music was birthed. All these Scotch-Irish folks that worked the mill, the guy who owned the mill built this neighborhood called Cabbagetown, and they brought their music with them. And so, for real, like the first country roots, it goes right to this street. Fiddlin' John was like one of the main residents there, and the first like country radio stars were from right where I was living. And then right across the tracks, literally across the tracks, here is where, as I said, freedom was birthed in the civil rights movement. And those songs that were, every bit of pop music that we're doing here in America you can trace it right back to slave spirituals and black gospel experience and the church experience. And I love that the tributaries it's the same stream, and they're so close together, and you can look at a track, train tracks, and see it as something that divides, or you can see it as something that, went from one sea to another sea and brought a whole nation together. It's like, I think that things that are common among us are way bigger than the stuff that we think divides us. And, somebody put those lines there. God didn't. There's really just one definitive thing, and it's the one between death and life, and that's what we're singing about. So I love that I'm trying to blur the lines with the music, as well as the language was, especially on this record, very, very specific to where the roots go as far as our colloquial Americana experience of church, and how music fits into our gatherings. And so the language is very intentional in terms of hoping to be inclusive rather than exclusive, and inclusive in the sense that we all collectively have understanding of that history, the historical element of what the Southern church is in our Americana sense.
And the devil went down. The devil went down on the killing floor. The devil went down. The devil went down.
That was David Crowder. Make sure to check out his new album, I Know a Ghost. It's out today. Stay tuned. Up next, a very special feedback.
Did you know there are pictures of you on my phone? It's true. Did you know there are reasons for these things I do?
You're listening to Rhett Miller. The song is I Used to Write in Notebooks. It's time for your feedback. Okay, now, if you remember last week's show, we had Jesse regale tales of high school shenanigans that he partook in with our guest on that episode, Sean Foyt. Jesse said on the show, you know what? I'm not exaggerating any of these. We should have Sean on to back me up. And you know what? We're doing that right now because the feedback question last week was, what kinds of shenanigans did you get into when you were younger? And we thought, who better to come on and answer that feedback than Sean Foyt? Welcome to the show, Sean.
Thanks.
This is crazy. Jesse, I don't know if you heard the entire episode or if you just fast forwarded to your interview, but Jesse, a lot of guests do that. But Jesse told us a lot of stories and he outed you about y'all's high school lawlessness.
Sean, confirm for them how many rolls of toilet paper we put in the trees of a home of a victim who will remain nameless.
Oh, bro, hundreds. I mean, I don't even know. Do you have an exact count?
I do, because we were buying rolls by the dozen, and it came out to so many dozens where it was 166. It was 166.
That sounds about right.
I just don't know how you two found each other as children. It's just shocking.
Listen, the toilet paper, sorry, I got a cold, so it's hard, but the toilet paper was just the beginning, guys. That was entry level.
What? Jesse, I would like to know something real quick. You just said 166 with a certainty because you bought them in dozens.
Yeah.
166 is not divisible by 12. So did you remember that two of them were bad or something? Or did you...
We probably lost a couple on the way. But Sean is right about something. We had to use, someone wasn't feeling well. We had to use the two rolls. On the way
okay. All right. That's right.
Right. So Sean, you're right. Toilet paper is just beginning. Tell me what was one of your favorite gags that we pulled off during those days?
Well, maybe the one that I actually had to go to that I got busted for by the police. That was pretty good. We went to a construction site, and by the way, I don't condone this. Okay,
of course not.
But we went to a construction site and took numerous construction signs. You know, the huge ones that are like 6 feet tall and rectangle and triangles and all different shapes and varieties. And we stuck them in the yard of the said person. And I think we brought a truck or maybe my minivan. I don't remember.
It was your mom's van. It's
the same person that you toilet papered?
No, this is a different person. But
a new victim. Sure.
I believe it was my mom's minivan we had to use. And we which is convenient because it has the sliding door, and the sliding door opens up and you just chuck all the signs in. And we did a lot of signs, a lot of times.
And you got busted.
Yeah. The police, is that the time the van broke down and a police came to help and he saw the signs in the back of the van?
Oh man, talk about a worst case in a nightmare scenario.
Do you remember that? Do you remember that, Sean?
Well, I think he came to see what he was kind of patrolling the neighborhood or whatever. And he came to see what was going on, and I tried to convince him that we were just relocating the construction signs.
Right. Yeah. You guys are just contract workers. Yeah.
Classic. Yeah. And, bunch of high schoolers.
And he just didn't buy it. So
yeah.
What kind of trouble did you get? Because I had some friends who stole construction signs when I was in high school, and they went to jail.
Oh man!
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think they're still in jail or anything.
Sean, I told them too that our get out of jail free charm was just our God-given charm that was able to talk our way out of this. Remind me again what happened that night when the police got involved.
Okay, so when the police got involved, we did the toilet paper, we did the signs, And the first thing that he did was he called my parents, and then he brought me. Somebody else had to take the van, and he brought me to my house. And then I think I had to go to court, and it was like community service or something. Which
you had to go to court.
The judge said that I could serve at youth group.
Oh my gosh!
Quote unquote serve at youth group. Yeah, well, we gotcha. Thankfully, you were the worship leader there, so that was pretty easy to do.
Yeah, so I pretty much just led worship to work off my community service.
Wait a minute, you used leading worship to work off community. Like, was that an hour per? I had to put this
I'll say this.
sheet
together. Tyler, there's a reason he's still leading worship.
Yeah,
today.
I would say what he's not saying. What he's not saying is he's still doing that today.
Service.
Yeah, the judge transferred his sentence to Bethel, and now he's still doing it today.
Oh my gosh.
That's true. It was the confirmation of my destiny.
Sean, I got one. Okay, one more. I remember the Ducks. I remember taking the Ducks. What was your favorite dorm prank? Prank?
Oh, dude. Okay. Are we talking about college now?
Yeah, college.
Okay. So the Ducks was amazing. Did you tell them that story, Jesse?
Yeah.
Also, that you lead with the duck story and Sean isn't sure if you're talking about college or not tells me everything I need to know.
It wasn't Sean's first rodeo. Okay, I gave I want to hear your version of it because I feel like you were the one actually that you and like Tim Torres were the ones that actually were able to capture. Remind me again what transpired that evening.
Okay. Well, there's one more that comes to my mind besides the Ducks, but let's go to the Ducks. So we had this idea that we were going to take these ducks, which are massive. I think they're actually more like geese.
Yeah.
Let's just call them geese.
They are
bigger.
geese. I think they are. The Lake Evelyn geese. They are geese.
They're like a half breed. They're
but that
unholy.
does make me picture a different thing. If you're telling me a duck story versus a goose story, that's two different stories.
I'm telling you, these are not ducks,
and
they are
a
not
large non-aerial bird. We'll say that.
They're aerial.
Yeah, we can call them large non-aerial birds. But we also want to make sure that the listener understands that these geese perpetually crap every 5 seconds.
Yeah, they're bad.
So, I mean, and they just destroyed, like in college, they destroyed our sidewalks. And I mean, every morning you have to look out where you're walking. So we just thought it'd be fun to capture a few of these birds and to put them on the elevator and release them and push random floors on the elevator and see where they would get out.
Oh my gosh.
Forgot.
So, but the problem is that although they may look very, large and kind of, look like they would be easy to catch, they're actually not. Yeah. And so we had to have like kind of a game plan because they kept eluding us, and we'd have to like get a group of guys and kind of start in a big circle and then move towards each other. And then Tim, I believe it was Tim, took one for the team because he jumped like halfway into the pond and grabbed a leg of this goose that as he grabbed the leg, it was flapping around on the ground. And it allowed us to then go and apprehend this bird. And so I believe we had I think we came away with 2 geese from that trip that we brought into the elevators.
Sean, okay, you had another one that came to mind from the dorms.
Hold on. I know. Okay, ORU's dorms. You're talking towers now, I assume, or UEMR?
Yeah.
Okay, so towers. You have to walk by the check desk at the lobby. How did you walk by the authorities?
That brings up a very good point. In which part I've forgotten the story. We stuffed. Oh man, animal rights people are not going to like this. We stuffed the geese into our backpack.
No, you guys, you put geese in your
backpack. It was a long time ago. The statute of limitations we're exhausted.
Sean, you put a goose in your backpack.
I will never listen to Bethel the same again.
Oh my god.
That is animal smuggling.
What is the other story that came to your mind? I'm interested to hear.
Wait, hold on. We aren't done with the goose and the backpack story.
But hey, I want to let you guys know the ducks survived. None of them were injured. they're incredibly pliable animals, and everything was
Oh
good.
gosh.
Andy, they flew from Canada. They can handle a trip in a backpack.
I got you. What happened when you put him in the elevator? Like, what happened to him? Did you just set your book back down and unzip it and get out?
Well, we had to get past where the RAs or whoever they are waiting in the lobby, and we didn't want to cause suspicion, so the backpack we thought it would work,
Yeah.
And your backpack wasn't moving or flapping or anything, because that feels like that would be a risk.
Oh, they were totally moving. They were squirming like crazy in the backpack.
Oh my God.
See, this wasn't exactly this wasn't an Ocean's 11 level.
No, this is
No.
this is a lot of just like, all right, forget it. Let's just run with it. Sean, I'm curious. What is the other story that immediately came to your mind from the college years?
So the other story that came to my mind was when we ran, and this is a really good one, guys. This one is like genius. We ran fishing line from the top of towers, the very top, which I think was 9 stories up. And we ran fishing line all the way across that massive parking lot in the bottom, all the way to the other men's dorm, which was EMR, which was, I think, 4 or 5 stories. So we connected fishing line from 8. I think it used like a whole roll of fishing line from 8 or 9 floors up, all the way across, suspended in the air to 4 to 5 stories up in EMR. And once we made that fishing line that you obviously could not see, we then got a couple air horns. And we put like a bracket on the air horns that would connect from the air horn to the fishing line, so we could fling it all the way down the fishing line. Jesse, do you remember this?
Yeah, the idea, we use like carabiners and we topped them to all these air horns. You guys know air horns, super loud. And then before we deployed them, we put rubber bands around them so that they perpetually go off until all the air in the air horn is gone. And we waited to probably 4 a.m, Sean, before we deployed them across the campus.
3 or 4 in the morning before we let those puppies fly.
Deployed is way too respectable of a word to use here, Jesse.
So it was like 4 a.m, and all of a sudden this barrage of air horns goes sliding across campus.
And this is in Tulsa, Oklahoma, which has tornado sirens. And like if you hear a horrible loud horn, it's like, get in the cellar now. Anti-M.
Yeah, that's we weren't thinking about that at the time.
So it went off without a hitch? I mean, you guys awoke the entire campus?
What? Oh yeah. I mean, you just see, it was great seeing the lights like just pop on, and because we were from a very high perspective on top of the dorms, and you could see lights coming on off campus, and just this stream of air horns just shooting down a fishing line.
Did you get caught?
No, I don't believe we ever got caught. The thing was when people came outside, like they weren't able to see the fishing line, that was suspended.
So it was just floating air horns. So now they
air.
think campus is haunted too.
They're probably not wrong there. I just feel I've heard enough things about ORU. I feel like there's got to be some ghost presence there. Independent of the air horn situation.
Tyler, the Holy Ghost.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, yeah. I mean, who's everywhere, but especially at ORU.
Crowder knows a ghost.
Ghost presence, yeah.
I told you, he's a mastermind.
All right. Well, Sean, thanks for coming on and telling us the stories. You did confirm that Jesse was not exaggerating last week when he was telling us high school and college shenanigans that you guys got into.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah, we've had some good history. There's always more too. So thanks for having me on.
Oh man. All right. Thanks for joining us, Sean.
All right, buddy.
All right. Well, you guys also answered the feedback question, which again was, what kind of shenanigans did you get into when you were younger? Here's a few of our favorites.
Okay, this was my favorite from Cody Jensen. His house, there was 2 ways to get to the stairs. Like if you turned left, you went through the living room, and to the right, you went through the dining room to the back of the stairs. And one time he was sneaking one of his buddies in. So they walk in the door together. Cody curves left and goes and talks to his parents. His buddy curves right, and they take the exact same steps so that the parents don't hear it. They go upstairs, they hang out. He turns on music so they can't hear him talking. And then when he leaves, they go back down the stairs, repeat the exact same motion, doing the exact same footsteps out the door, and just says to his parents he left his book bag in his car. So he opens the door and walks out, and his buddy leaves, and his parents never know.
Synchronizing the footsteps is that is Catherine Zeta-Jones dancing through the laser field level of preparation.
That's goose in your backpack level kind of pranks when you synchronize your footprints.
Yeah, Jesse's pranks were more brute force and dumb ideas. This is a highly meticulous, calculated plan.
I like the elegance of it.
Yeah. The elegance. That's a good word.
Ours is like there's a guy carefully picking the lock to the front door. Me and my friend just go and bust it down with our shoulders.
That's right.
I would love to hear more about what happened here with Garrett Pierce. He says he only snuck out of his parents' house one time. He was going to go meet his best friend who lived in the same neighborhood. But he says, when I made it to where we were meeting, a person in an old gas mask began running at me in silence, which is more terrifying than if they'd been screaming. The person knocked me over. Pause right there. Where's you guys' heads at if you're Garrett in this story?
Yeah.
I've passed out because I'm so scared. That's where I am in this story.
Yeah, no, what has happened at this point is the rapture just happened and people are going crazy.
Yeah,
this is like the purge. Like one man is out there knocking people over with the gas mask on. As you might expect, it was actually his friend who was just trying to spook him out. Or so he'd taken a gas mask from his grandpa's house, which he'd been cleaning out. That's not something that a friend would do to that. That's like scarring. No wonder he's still processing it.
Yeah, well, you know what that was? That was a sign. You shouldn't be doing this. Lesson learned, never do it. Kristen Lee Williams, talk about something that's like, it reveals another darker fact. She only stuck out of time one time in high school, and they did absolutely nothing. She's met up with some friend, walked around the neighborhood, kind of for the thrill of sneaking out. Only gone for about a half hour. She decided it was boring, ended up going home. Successful outing, successful sneaking out, sneaking back in. Months later, she got in trouble. And she couldn't figure out how her mom found out about it. She thought, okay, one of my sisters must have ratted her out that I snuck out the other night. Turns out her mom had been reading her diary.
No.
That's a secret breach.
Kristen Lee is now 41 years old and still is extremely bitter about this, as you should be.
Sacred breach is right.
As
that
you
is.
should be. Yes,
you don't do that. You can read your kids' text messages. You can look through their phone. You don't touch a diary and a journal. No.
I kept a false flag diary. I kept a fake journal with benign things in it, just in case. Like I put that in kind of the obvious
Your real
spot.
one was written in code.
Yeah.
That's really sweet.
I tried to plan. I don't think it actually worked. I don't think my parents were snooping around, but you can't be too careful.
I had one with a lock on it from the Hello Kitty store, so that I knew when I went to school that thing was not getting cracked open because the key was in the front pocket of my backpack, so we were good to go.
But if your mom really cared, then she could have busted right through. I mean, I don't think the folks at Hello Kitty. This isn't exactly. We're not cracking a safe here.
Yeah,
that's right.
You know, our old go-to when we were just looking for kicks was. And this is really gross thinking back. Cameron, you remember those alligator claws that they sell? You know, those alligator claws they sell in like gas stations down there?
Yeah. I mean, any truck stop or gas station between Orlando and Atlanta is going to have a wide selection of alligator claws for sale on the shelf. Yeah.
So at some point, they're very like lifelike. I mean, it's got gross fingernails.
They're real alligator claws. Yeah, of course they're lifelike, but they're dead.
Yeah, they're dead. Like we used to, just for the fun of it, like put a little dollar bill in between two of the alligator claws that are like locked in this horrific position. And we got like a really big one. And we would like go to the grocery store and put like gum on the cash register. And then with a long sleeve shirt, like hold our hand out like it's this weird alligator claw. 90% of the time they were so weirded out thinking like, could this person just have an insane condition that turned their hand into that? And they would just take it. The other one, This is gross. They sell pig's feet at the grocery store.
Yeah.
And they're like super fleshy. And I remember like jamming coins in between like the toe of the hooves.
No.
And it looks like the skin color is very human, And you give that in like a sweatshirt, like, oh, hold on, I think I have some change in my pocket. Here you go. And you hold it right up to them. And you just watch as their expression tries not to change, thinking this person could have a weird deformity where it turned their hand into a pig hoof. I don't know. I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah, you told the alligator
That's
claw
awesome.
one before, and every time I see one, I think of you putting that in your sweatshirt and walking around like you have a real alligator hand and paying people with it, But I haven't heard the pig's foot one, and that is
The pig
way
one's even
weirder.
fleshy. It's like very fleshy and very human-like.
Yeah. Oh, that's nasty.
Oh, man.
All right. Well, there's a lot more feedback where that came from. Go check it out. Do yourself a favor. You can follow us on, or you can see it on Twitter at Relevant Podcast, or check out the podcast episode page. Okay, it's time for this week's
Editorial question of the week. Hey.
Well, earlier in the show, we got talking about the Pete Davidson segment on SNL.
Yikes.
And him having to come back around and, apologize for some of the things he said. Got us thinking, what are some things you've done or said that you had to come around and apologize for? Now, what we're looking for here is like an awkward toast at a wedding situation, not you hurt somebody or something like that. So, and then like maybe an embarrassing moment or something that you thought would go one way and it went south.
Yeah.
And you had to come back and apologize for it. Those are the stories we want. Hit us up on Twitter at Relevant Podcast, or you can post your replies on the podcast episode page at relevantmagazine.com. Well, many thanks to David Crowder for joining us. Go check out his new album, I Know a Ghost. It's out today. You can also follow him on Twitter at Crowder Music. Thanks also to our sponsors for making this episode possible. Remember, with Samaritan Ministries, if you'd like to learn more about how you can be a part of this ministry, helping each other with health care, visit SamaritanMinistries.org/relevant. And also thanks to Away Travel. To get $20 off a suitcase, visit awaytravel.com/relevant and use promo code relevant during checkout. Hey, we mentioned it last week, but the new Relevant store is up now, and there is a full podcast section. We will be continuing to add new products, not only to the podcast fan section, but also the Relevant merch section and other parts of the store every week. So if you've been, go check it out again. Keep checking it out. There's always new merch coming. It's a lot of fun. I'm watching all the orders come in, and it's fun seeing what people are connecting with. Go check it out. It's at store.relevantmagazine.com. You can click on the nav right there at relevantmagazine.com as well. While you're online, head over to iTunes, and if you like the show, rate it and leave a review. If you don't like it, keep it to yourself. But we like the 5-star reviews and the positive feedback. It helps us feel good about things and kind of balances out the Dinesh D'Souza junk. So, Jesse, I know you keep your eye on the old iTunes feed there. What's the latest buzz? What's the scuttlebutt? What are people saying about the show?
So glad you asked. This one is from Funky Fresh, and you can tell they're really listening to the show because they pulled out one little nuanced thing. They said, as a lifelong fan of Boston Market, I find
as our reviews would.
Sorry, I'm sorry. That was a very serious comment.
This is from the Boston Market app. I'm sorry. This also got
it's from Mr. John Boston. Yeah.
Yeah. As a lifelong fan of Boston Market, it warmed my heart hearing Jesse profess his unrequited love for sneaking their food into movie theaters. 5 stars. That's the kind of stuff. Find the details post. Here's another one. Speaking of the store, Cameron.
Yeah.
This is a 5-star that says everything about this podcast. She says, it's just a little bit secular, and that's why I love it. I don't know more of an informative, hilarious, thought-provoking podcast out there. You can get that on a t-shirt, ladies and gentlemen. It's just a little bit secular at Relevant Store right now.
There you go.
Yeah,
Wow.
5 stars.
Wow.
Five stars.
Yeah. Hey, and as we told you on the last show, the new issue of Relevant is out now. It features Lauren Daigle on the cover. You don't want to miss it. You can get it at newsstands nationwide, like Barnes & Nobles. If your local newsstand doesn't have it, ask for it, and they'll get it for you. Also, if you want to see the digital edition, you can view it at relevantmagazine.com. And if you like what you see, maybe subscribe and get it sent to you every issue. I think you'll like it. And there's a good deal going on right now, relevantmagazine.com/subscribe. Okay, on that note, we will wrap things up. I'm Cameron Strang.
Chandler Strang.
I'm Jesse Carey.
I'm Tyler Huckabee.
And I'm Annie F. Downs.
We will see you all on Tuesday. Have a good weekend, everyone.
You swam across the devil's pond, left the comfort of your family to live out all your fantasy.
Thank you for listening to the Relevant Podcast. If you like what you heard, be sure to leave us a review on iTunes. Check out other shows from the Relevant Podcast Network in the podcast section at relevantmagazine.com. And while you're there, browse exclusive podcast merchandise at our online store. Make sure to subscribe to Relevant Magazine. Info is available at relevantmagazine.com/subscribe.
You scoundrels!
Relevant Podcast Network.